Muhyiddin Ibn Arabi developed one of the most intricate metaphysical systems in Islamic thought. His ideas in the Muhammadan Reality, ḥaqīqa al-Muḥammadiyya, and the perfect man, al-insān al-kāmil, are central to his ontology, cosmology, and spiritual anthropology. Although closely related, these concepts are distinct but complementary in Ibn Arabi's metaphysical system. What does Ibn Arabi mean by the Muhammadan Reality? What does he mean by the perfect man? Let's analyze these concepts separately and then distinguish their roles in Ibn Arabi's thought. The Muhammadan Reality, ḥaqīqa al-Muḥammadiyya, is the metaphysical principle representing the primordial, pre-existent, and eternal reality of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu as the archetype of all creation. It is the first and the highest divine self-disclosure or tajalli. Ibn Arabi conceptualizes the Muhammadan Reality as the first intellect, al-aql al-awwal, as the first emanation, as-sudur al-awwal, and the pre-eternal light, nur Muhammadi, which God first created before anything else. In his works, Fusus al-Hikam and Futuhat al-Makkiyya, Ibn Arabi affirms that the Muhammadan Reality is the universal spirit, that is, al-Ruh al-Kulli, through which all things were created. It is synonymous with the primordial light mentioned in the famous prophetic narrative. The first thing that was created was my light, said the Prophet of Islam. The Muhammadan Reality exists before time and space and serves as the link between the real, al-haq, and the created, al-khalq. It is the intermediary principle through which divine names and attributes manifest in creation. The Muhammadan Reality plays a fundamental role in Ibn Arabi's cosmology. It is the prototype of all prophets and saints, awliya, the source of all revelation, wahy, the origin of all creation, as God creates everything through this principle, and it encompasses all divine names and attributes. The Muhammadan Reality is eternally present. It manifests in the most complete form in the Prophet Muhammad, but also in other prophets and saints. It is the source of guidance and divine knowledge, that is ma'rifah. The Muhammadan Reality is thus both metaphysical and eschatological. It pre-exists creation and remains the axis of existence, continuing to manifest in the awliya, that is saints, who inherit this reality's light. On the other hand, the perfect man, al-insān al-kāmil, is the human embodiment of the Muhammadan Reality. He is the most complete and balanced reflection of divine names, acting as the supreme mediator between God and cosmos. The perfect man is the ideal spiritual goal for every human being. To compare, the Muhammadan Reality is a universal metaphysical principle. However, the perfect man is the Muhammadan Reality's individual realization in the world of multiplicity. He, the perfect man, represents the most perfect existential manifestation of God's names in creation. Ibn Arabi describes the perfect man as the cosmic vicegerent, Khalifa in Arabic, the mirror of God reflecting divine names, the supreme model, Uswa, for humanity, the seal of sanctity, Khatm al-Wilaya, inheriting the Muhammadan Reality. The perfect man serves multiple cosmic functions. First, as the cosmic axis, that is, the spiritual pole who sustains the cosmos through divine knowledge. Second, the manifestation of God's names. The perfect man embodies all divine names in their most balanced and perfect form. And third, it bridges between the absolute and the relative. Just as the Muhammadan Reality links God and creation metaphysically, the perfect man links them existentially. Fourth, the universal guide. Every prophet and saint manifests aspects of the perfect man to guide humanity toward divine realization. Historically, the most perfect man was Adam. Other prophets, Anbiya, and saints, awliya, and mystics, arifun, manifest aspects of the perfect man. The most complete manifestation of the perfect man, according to Ibn Arabi, was the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who fully embodied the Muhammadan reality. This chart will help distinguish the Muhammadan reality and the perfect man. Concerning their nature, the Muhammadan reality is a universal metaphysical principle, but the perfect man is an individual existential manifestation. Existentially, the Muhammadan reality is pre-eternal and beyond time, but the perfect man exists in time and history. Functionally, the Muhammadan reality is the source of all creation and revelation. The perfect man, on the other hand, is the supreme realization of divine names. In terms of their roles in cosmos, Muhammadan reality is the first light through which all things were created, but the perfect man is the spiritual guide and cosmic axis. In relation to Prophet Muhammad, the Muhammadan reality is the eternal spiritual reality of the Prophet Muhammad, but the perfect man is the historical human manifestation of divine perfection. In terms of manifestations, the Muhammadan reality manifests in all times, but the perfect man is fully realized in the Prophet Muhammad and inherited by saints. The Muhammadan reality is the primordial archetype that exists before creation, but the perfect man is the existential realization of this reality in the world. Every perfect man, therefore, is an expression of the Muhammadan reality, but not every manifestation of Muhammadan reality is a perfect man in a specific historical form. What is the relationship between the Muhammadan reality and the world of God's knowledge? The world of God's knowledge, alam al-ilm al-ilahi, is the realm of divine potentiality containing the fixed realities, Ibn Arabi calls fixed entities, ayan al-thabita, of all beings. The Muhammadan reality is the first actualization of divine names, serving as the divine blueprint for all existence. The relationship between the two is like potentiality and actuality. Divine knowledge contains all possibilities, but these possibilities first become manifest through the Muhammadan reality. The spiritual journey in Ibn Arabi's thought is about aligning oneself with the Muhammadan reality, which ultimately reflects the totality of God's knowledge in the most perfect form. In sum, the world of God's knowledge and the Muhammadan reality are two fundamental stages in the divine creative process. The world of God's knowledge represents the pre-existent, unmanifest forms of all beings. The Muhammadan reality is the first existential realization of those forms, serving as the bridge between the divine and creation. Thus, in Ibn Arabi's vision, the Muhammadan reality is the first divine disclosure in the world of God's knowledge. It is both the beginning of creation and ultimate model for human perfection, making it the cornerstone of Ibn Arabi's metaphysical system. To recap, Ibn Arabi's metaphysics presents a profound vision where the Muhammadan reality is the metaphysical blueprint of existence, and the perfect man is the realized existential form. These concepts bridge the gap between the absolute and the created realms, explaining how divine knowledge, revelation, and guidance unfolds in the world. Ultimately, the spiritual path in Ibn Arabi's system is the journey to embody the qualities of the perfect man, which means aligning oneself with the Muhammadan reality and thereby realizing the highest human potential. This system deeply influenced the Sufi thought, shaping discussions on prophethood, sainthood, and human perfection across Islamic mysticism. Now, what does Ibn Arabi mean by the fixed entities, ayan al-thabita? And what role do they play in his cosmology? What is Ibn Arabi's controversial doctrine of unity of existence, that is al-Wujud? I invite you to watch 2 of our episodes dedicated to these topics. Thanks for watching.